Hello and welcome to Who Goes Social. Who to know and where to go. My name is Alexa Oliva, and today I met these really cool guys, Lee Luna and JC
Batista.
I screw it up sometimes. You know, just like the real Alexa never gets it right, this authentic one almost never gets it right.
It's all good.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. One of the cool things that I have enjoyed in our conversation right before we got here is that you guys are Miami guys. I love that.
Born and raised in Miami.
I love that. I wasn't born here, but I was definitely raised here. And getting to know you was a lot of fun. And, you know, we have commonalities in our lives, especially the love of baseball is one of them. Yes. Absolutely love baseball. But the other commonality is I love earning money. And I know you guys know how to do that.
Absolutely.
So tell us, JC. What do people have to do to get around you to increase their zeros in their bank accounts?
The most important thing is proximity, right?
Okay.
So it's financial education, financial literacy, something that's super important. Most families don't have that nowadays. How to plan their retirement, where to put your money, especially times like now while we're recording this, the market's at different points, right? Things are not going as well sometimes. So it's very important to have that education, make good decisions. And that proximity comes in either a person that wants to learn about their finances, or at the same time, people want to make more money, right? Where they can learn about that and use it as a tool to help other families to make money. So it's education, proximity, and being at the right place, meeting the right people to have an opportunity, because most people don't have that opportunity.
No, and you're absolutely right. One of the things that I've learned in all my years is exactly that. In our school system, they don't teach us the responsibility or how to handle finances. And, you know, being especially in this multicultural town that we live in down here in South Florida, a big majority of us have immigrant parents or families and things like that. And then we get here and that's not taught to us. So what are some tools, Lee, that we can use in our families, in our professional environments to increment?
The most important thing we've spoken about in our family has been our mind, our thoughts, you know, the books you read, the people you hang around with, right? The places you go and experience, those things are the most valuable tool, the most valuable asset that a human being has. It's not the artificial intelligence. That's artificial. It's the real human experience, the real intelligence. And that's what we focus on in the family. We look at what can we do to save money? What can we do with what we have? Forget about what we don't have. Let's look at what we have and see what can we do with what we have, and can we grow that? Can we grow our resources, our friends? Can we grow our network, right? The community. And from there on, you know, we look at the world as a global thought leader, you know, where you say, how can we get world class? What do the world class have that the average, you know, middle income family doesn't have? And most of it is thoughts. Billionaires don't walk around with billions in their pocket. They walk around with a lot of experiences, thoughts, resources, ideas. Who can they call when they need help?
Oh, wow. I never thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Now we got Alexa.
Yeah. Now we have Alexa that knows everything and then just doesn't do it for herself, right?
Got this.
JC, so what are some tools that you like that you have experienced that have helped families and people that hire you for your services?
Number one is a financial literacy, right? It's a game plan. So when you meet with a family, most of them what they want is they want education because they don't have that. So some of the most basic concepts, you would think that they have an idea what they are, but they don't know what they are. Starting from the area of insurance, planning your life insurance, the different types of insurance there's out there, especially on TikTok right now. I mean, if you go on social media, the amount of people putting information out there that have no idea what they're talking about is very impressive. In training the other day, I broke down like 10 videos of TikTok of people just making statements about insurance plan. They have no idea what they're talking about, number one. Then you look at the investment side. You know, how do you plan your investments, right? Well, who do you have as an advisor? Most people don't have anybody on file for their investments. They don't have anybody guiding them, who they could ask questions, especially in down markets like now. I have my clients calling me. I answer the phone, right? I answer the phone and I just let them know, hey, how's it going? You know, what do you need? Do you have any questions? What are your concerns? And when you explain to them and you give them the education, you remind them of the education you give them initially of how the market works, it's time in the market, keep putting money long term, they feel comfortable because you know you're there to give them that education.
That's awesome. I think it's very difficult for the average person, especially like I'm just an average person. You know, I grew up blue collar, first graduate on both sides of the family, and I didn't get any of that education that you're talking about.
None of us did, by the way.
Exactly, you know, but what are some steps that we can take? Because, you know, talking finances is very difficult for people. It's very private. You know, people don't want to share that. So what do you do to kind of let people know, hey, it's okay?
Most people have gone through an experience where they get embarrassed at the beginning. You know, you go to the doctor, you want to get better, but they tell you go put this gown on. It's a very thin gown. You got to get naked. You got to go and do that uncomfortable experience to be comfortable. And one of the most uncomfortable experiences is saying, man, we have nothing. We have no money. We have only debt. We're in a crisis situation in this family. What are we going to do? And then having somebody like JC, myself, yourself, somebody that can say, I've been there. I know what you're going through. I know how you feel. I found out that by going through this experience of being uncomfortable, we got comfortable. We got a coach. We got somebody that we can count on and trust and say, come on over, explain to me, how is it that insurance works? How is it that debt works? How is it that investments work? Put it in a program and a plan and help us. Let's get this family moving forward. Let's see progress. If we see progress, we're going to be happy. If we don't see progress, we're all depressed. And that's what's happening right now. A lot of people are depressed. And they're smiling because they have no choice, but they are not good financially, and they need help. They need somebody like us to go in and say, we're here to rescue you. We're here to rescue you from a job, rescue you from a mentality of being broke, and without, we're gonna help you. We're gonna find a way to help you.
I love that. I was very inspired by what you just said right now. I wish I could have heard those words when I was like 20. You know, unfortunately, not until my 50s did I hear those words, right? What is like an intro that you would say for someone who's struggling with their finances? That picture that he just painted for us, what's like the first step or two that a family should take when they hear something like that?
It's basically, what do you mean, for a person that they're looking to get help?
Yeah, we're struggling in our lives. You just don't know what to do, and people need to hear it.
Yeah, they got to seek someone that could give them the financial education. The problem is finding that person is a challenge, because who do you trust, right? Like I said, like when you look at TikTok, social media, there's a lot of people that spit information that is not correct. So I would love to say find a person that could give you the education, but the challenge is, who do you trust? That's the number one problem. Like even in this business, right? Who do you trust that'll do a good job for you and your shows and your podcasts, or that can spread the word that'll do right by you? It's the same thing in finances. So you obviously have to find someone that could give you that value, but finding that person is the challenge, right? But you have to seek the information, right?
So what are some questions that we can ask ourselves to check out someone that we're thinking about maybe trusting? What's a good approach for that?
Well, in America, you have to have a license. You have to be, part of the team. You have to be regulated with a license. That's one thing. Do they have a license? Are they somebody that has a track record? Do they have clients? Do they have a team of people that can vouch for them and vet them out? Those are things that we are specialists, that we go and say, okay, look at our track record. We've been in the industry now going almost 50 years. In 2027, it'll be 50 years, our company within the industry. Within that, we've hired, and the company has hired people that have 30, 40, 50 plus years of experience. So now we have a whole team of multiple years of experience coming to your home to tell you the same thing that we've been preaching and hearing for many years. Save money. Money will save you. Keep your expenses low. Your income, got to increase it. Manage your debt. But we're coming with a team of licensed professionals, and we're showing them the track record. We're showing them, look, these are stories of families that have passed away. Look at what we've done. My cousin passed away at 17. My dad came through with the life insurance policy that, helped bury her. And my godparents were able to give some money back to the church because of her buying a life insurance policy. My dad's first office manager was my cousin. So we saw that it was a real story. It's not a fake gimmicky thing. This is real life, real people that we deal with.
That's awesome. And I agree. And that's the problem, is that a lot of people don't look at them as people. They look at them as the money sign of
Transaction.
it's transactional. And just from a couple minutes of spending some time with you guys before that, all we talked about was our families. And so that tells me a lot, because when someone cares about their family and they're not just a loner or, not in the same mindset, you want to relate yourself to someone that's doing the things that you're doing in that. And I see that you guys are family guys. So if you guys want family financial fitness in your life, definitely reach out to Lee Luna and JC Batista.
You got it, yes.
Reach out to them. They have that knowledge. They care about your families and they care about our community. And my name is Alexa Oliva, Hugo Social. See you next time.